Hi, I'm Mike London, and
Hi.
I'm visiting with artists that are here working in the Miami Valley. Culture Work supports a great many artists and arts organizations, and these interviews are a chance for us to get to know some of them. So today I am speaking with Kelsey Lee. Now, I know you, Kelsey, as a dancer choreographer, but tell me, who are you as an artist?
Ooh, who am I as an artist?
Yeah.
Well, I would say I'm still pretty young in my career. I'm still 2 years out of college. But I would say I would classify my work under the categories of contemporary modern dance, performance art, and dance theater. So I tie in a little bit of my acting training and my experience with theater into my classical training with dance and modern technique and ballet technique.
So do you think of yourself as a storyteller?
Sometimes I think I would, if I really think about the work I've made thus far, I think of it more as uh, not necessarily stories I'm telling, but worlds I'm creating. Yeah. So
So
I create worlds. I
you create,
create scenes.
yeah,
Yeah.
but you're using elements of more than just dance.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll use props. I'll use text a lot. So I use words, either spoken word or recorded words. Yeah, we'll leave it at there for now. Yeah. So props, text mainly.
So you live and work here in the Valley now, in Miami Valley. But but where are you from?
Oh, okay. So was born in Elkhorn, Wisconsin, and I danced at a ballet school in Delavan called the Dance Factory when I was 8 years old. And then when I went off to college, I went to University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, and I studied contemporary dance, and performance and choreography, and I also double majored in psychology.
I'm curious, and I know I've asked some other artists this, but there's so many different kinds of art that are out there for us to enjoy and to participate in. Why do you think you're a dancer as opposed to a painter or a vocalist or a musician? Why are you a dancer, I wonder?
Well, the simple answer is when I was younger, I just wanted to dance. I don't know exactly why. I think I want to say my first time being exposed to dance was I would watch the 1982 version of Annie, I think it was.
Yes, yes.
So that musical theater kind of stuff, and I would see it, I think, on TV. I think that's where I got exposed to dance because no one in my family was dancers. So I think that's where I picked it up, and then from then on I just was, always asking my parents, can I take ballet lessons? Can I take ballet lessons? And then finally at 8 years old, it was my grandfather who was paying for my lessons initially, because it's a pricey art form to get into. A lot of art forms are kind of expensive to get
Yeah.
into as a kid. So that's kind of how that started, and it just stuck.
It was a fit for you.
Yeah, I think so.
So you studied ballet, but you've studied other art forms.
Yeah, within dance, I've studied modern techniques, various modern techniques, and along with jazz and other styles mixed in here and there. But I also have studied acting. I started in physical theater, and then within the last year, I got interested in Meisner technique. So I started studying a little bit of Meisner technique. Yeah, so I think as a dancer, I really gravitated towards theater and acting because I felt like I needed to use my voice more when I was dancing. Dance is so like a full body experience, except a lot of times dancers are not saying anything and not actually physically using their voice. So I was missing that for myself.
That's interesting. When you're creating a piece, what is it that inspires you?
Ooh. I think it's always different. I would prefer to work with others, dancers or actors, because I like to kind of see what the hive mind is and see kind of what we're all feeling. But when I'm setting work on myself, usually the inspiration I just pull from my daily life and kind of what's going on. So that can be really I want to say it could be really different, but I keep finding like some of my work starts to have overlaps, and there's certain topics that I keep kind of running into. And a lot of it does have to do with the political climate, or, you know, my, you know, yeah, I mean, it has to do with a lot of things, especially technology. I think that's something as of lately that's been really kind of, I keep getting kind of hit in the face with technology all the time. Not literally, but, and that's something that I've kind of wondered how I can kind of explore my questions about that through my body.
Are there other artists that inspire you?
Yeah, I would say some of dance artists that really inspire me. To start with, Joe Good is the first artist that really sticks out to me, and he was one of the first choreographers that I was exposed to during college that I was like, oh my goodness, the dancers are talking and he's talking and he's dancing. And that's something I just really, you know, outside of musical theater, I hadn't seen done in that way. And so he's someone off the top of my head who I think about when I think about artists who inspire me. I'm also super interested in artists like Sidra Bell, who are also kind of taking dance theater and trying to abstract it even more, which leads me down this rabbit hole. Now I'm thinking of Pina Bausch and other dance theater artists from Europe. That has had a huge influence on me so far. So more dance theater and yeah.
How about teaching? Do you teach?
Yeah. So I teach at a Funk Lab Dance Center in Kettering. Mm-hmm. And I'm teaching, I teach ballet technique, but I also teach them modern technique as well. And I love it. I love that school. It's great.
That's great. Do you get a chance to see what else is happening in the arts here in the county? Yeah,
right now I like to frequent Dayton Contemporary Dance Company's shows when I can. I also, there's a lot of visual art here in Montgomery County, so that's great. And there's lots, me and my partner like to go check out different showings going on around with the visual arts as well.
Yeah, I think for some people it's a small community in some ways. I mean, we're not a large city, but there's an awful lot going on for a small area.
I agree.
Yeah. So when you go out and you see other artists that are working in other disciplines, what do you see anything out there that's exciting for you?
I would say I'm definitely interested in learning more about the music scene in Dayton, because I feel like it's like with the other visual arts, that's another area where there is a lot going on here. Nothing is sticking out the top of my head that I've seen around here lately. I just haven't been to a show in so long. But I'm definitely interested in exploring the music scene in Dayton more.
Yeah, there is quite a music scene. I'm curious what I mean, right now, for all artists, let me just put it this way. What's it like for you being a performing artist and we're in the middle of this pandemic?
Yeah. I think the initial reaction was kind of felt like a blow. It was like, because what we do, we can put it, what performance artists can do, it can be shown through film and through virtual passageways, I don't know, virtual platforms, but it's not the same. And for the audience, it's not the same. For the performer, it's not the same. And for the audience, it's not the same. So it is difficult in that respect, but I was actually very pleased isn't the right word, but maybe surprised or maybe happy to see that so how quickly, especially the dance community, how quickly they started thinking on their feet and figuring out how they could keep teaching classes and how they could keep, sharing their work with the community through these virtual platforms. And I think the art community as a whole is doing a great job of utilizing these online platforms. And, in a way it's really good because some people, wouldn't have been able to access these dance classes otherwise, or maybe they would have been too shy to show up to a dance class or whatever. And now that they're going to these classes. So in a way it's a good thing, but in another way, it's still not the same as the in-person face-to-face experience.
Do you teach online?
I was teaching online through most of the pandemic. Yeah, I was
Mm.
teaching online dance classes at through Funk Lab Dance Center. They were doing Zoom classes.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was really great. The families and people from the community pulled together and got us the supplies we needed. So, because some teachers needed, stands to put their cameras, or they needed cameras, or whatever they needed, and they got all the supplies were gathered, and we were doing Zoom classes up until last week. Last week we were able to open with strict, restrictions. But yeah, I was doing the online teaching.
Wow. Yeah, it's a very different experience.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a challenge. So what do you see for yourself in the coming year?
Ooh.
Forward.
Well, in the coming years, how long or how many years are we talking?
Whatever you want.
Okay. Well, maybe in the next, let's say 5 years, I just want to continue to dance more and also continue to define exactly what it is I want to do as a choreographer, because in the long run, I would like to start my own company, my own dance company. But I'm still kind of fine-tuning exactly what it is I'm doing, and I still want to dance in other people's works as well, and I want to keep experiencing that. So long run, start a dance company. Short run, keep doing what I'm doing, I guess.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
So what do you tell when you're teaching? What do you tell young dancers who are just starting their first classes and they're dreaming about working and living in dance? What do you tell them?
Well, I tell them they can, and the way I kind of explain it is, and they may not understand yet, but I say the dance community and the dance world is so much larger than you think, even though it's in a way, it's a very small community, but at the same time, it's very large. And if you want a place in that community, there is space for you. Whatever it is you want to do, whatever kind of dance you want to do, or whatever you want to do with dance, there is a space for you if you go and claim it. If you want it and you pursue it, it's there for you. And that's kind of similar to what my teachers would tell me growing up as well. It's, you know, if you want to do it, you can do it. You just have to stick in there and keep with it. And you know, I met a woman over the summer, choreographer in New York, Yoshiko Chuma, and something she said to me is, it's very hard to, you know, be a choreographer for, I forgot how many years she said, like 40 years or whatever, how long she'd be doing. It's very hard, but you can do it if you do it, if you want to do it. So I say the same thing to my students. You just have to do it. Yeah. Yeah, it's committing to it. And it doesn't mean, you know, not everyone's going to be a ballet dancer. Not everyone's going to be a modern dancer. Not everyone's going to be a choreographer, but it's up to you to find what you want to do and pursue it. And there will be that space for you if you work for it.
That's a great message.
Yeah.
That's great. Thank you so much for today. This is really, this series of interviews is an opportunity really for folks in the community to get to know who are the artists that are here and they're working. Culture Works supports a wide range of artists in a lot of different fields. You happen to be one of them, which is really great.
Thanks. Yeah, thank you for inviting me to do this. This is fun. It's a little awkward being Zoom, but it's
Yeah, it's very different. So for everybody out there watching, please support Culture Works. The benefits to being a supporter of Culture Works are real. There are artists and arts organizations that we have in our community that wouldn't be able to work in quite the same way that they're able to without support from Culture Works. If you want to know about Culture Works, go to the website at cultureworks.org. There you'll find how you can join, become a passport member, get buy one, get one free tickets all year. Now is an important time, cultureworks.org. Kelsey, thank you so much.
Thank you, Mike.
Absolutely. Hopefully next time in person.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Right.
We'll
Thank
see you.
Bye.
Bye.